Yesterday I spoke about Tim Geithner at that press conference in Europe when he said that the U.S. faces also serious fiscal challenges, which is a code phrase for deficit reduction. And I also talked about the fact that at the very same day, the Treasury Department, which he presides over, sold $35 billion worth of 4-week bills at 0% interest, and it was oversubscribed by $268 billion. So this whole notion of deficit reduction, clearly a lie, a flat-out lie, and coming from Treasury Secretary Geithner. He knows this. Come on, I mean, there's no way he does not know this. There's no way he does not see this, that the market is throwing money at the government. In fact, people are now paying the government to own treasuries as opposed to getting paid. If there's any crisis, come on, if there's any crisis, the crisis is there's not enough of these safe assets, government securities, that people want to own, people are clamoring for the world over, okay? Then we see Europe, where austerity has been in place for over a year and a half, economies are collapsing, unemployment is soaring through the roof, and what is their solution to their debt problem? More austerity, which, by the way, we see the austerity is actually creating higher deficits. So Einstein's definition of insanity, right? Repeating the same thing over and over and over again and getting a different result. Clearly a lie there, a lie that's being perpetrated on the populations of Europe. Outrageous, okay? And we see, for example, MF Global, 1.2 billion of customer funds stolen, okay? John Corzine, former senator, former governor of New Jersey, money was stolen to, I guess, carry out his fantasy trade in European government bonds. Before that, we just found out last week that Standard & Poor's, the idiot rating agency, right before it was going to downgrade the U.S. credit earlier back in the summer, gave out that information secretly to a number of financial institutions, hedge funds, and banks, a select group. Unethical to the max, okay? Last year, what? We saw Goldman Sachs admits to fraud, gets a slap on the wrist, no problem, continues doing business. The banks with their foreclosure fraud, these ridiculous settlements. One settlement recently slapped down by a judge here in New York, the Citigroup, just outrageous, tiny little $268 million that the judge, at least he saw. That was crazy. So what does this all mean? It's so obvious. We have a crisis in the financial industry, in leadership. It is a massive, pervasive crisis of theft and corruption and fraud. It's ongoing. Policies designed to suck up the last remaining wealth of nations now to a small elite group of financial institutions, financial oligarchs. Now, democracy totally smashed, shattered, done away with. Democratically elected leaders of countries like Italy and Greece, just the bankers saying, hey, you know, these guys are out. We don't want these guys anymore. We'll put our own guys in there. I mean, this is unbelievable. Then people seeing this outright, blatant, theft. What do? Rising up in the streets, protesting peacefully. But police departments, the whole entire law enforcement apparatus mobilized by these elites, by these oligarchs to crack down, to smash heads with batons, pepper spray in the face, in the eyes of sitting peaceful protesters. Outrageous. Frankly, I don't have a lot of hope. I don't have a lot of optimism. Not when the police, law enforcement, and the military now, basically under the control of this plutocracy, and we're just being relegated. The rest of us who are not in this elite being relegated to a class of serfs. It's a neo-feudalistic society being created now, And there's not, unfortunately, I don't think there's a whole lot that we can do about it.